polite, bitch. What you talking about? If that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK, shoot solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Shoulda took the time, get a damn no. But I see the shawty and I show her. She could never get a priest hoe. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. Yeah, that sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit muggin'. I say, if that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't none of me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, that clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in a temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you scoring off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commander General get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I was stalking his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 we gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head off, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no hoe to lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert, another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening, is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't just do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he said something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel Elroy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I enjoy. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Hey, the water for that. Salakia. I've been talking this whole time and there's been no sound. Salakia. Let me run it back from the top again. This class is called The Love of Many Shall Wax Cold. You understand? And if y'all can hear me now, put it in the chat, man. Let me see if y'all can hear me now. Okay. The water sis, I appreciate it. If y'all can hear me now, just put a 1 in the chat. All right. Salakia. Yeah, this class is called The Love of Many Shall Wax Cold. All right. Because, you know, as we understand, man, you know, by seeing the different signs that's occurring in the earth, right? We seeing earthquakes, pestilence. You understand? We seeing, you know, kingdom rise against kingdom, right? Your head would have to be under a rock if you ain't hear about what's going on in the land of Israel between the Israelis and the Palestinians, right? What's going on in the Ukraine between, you know what I'm saying, the Ukrainians and the Russians, right? What's going on, you know what I'm saying, in China between the Taiwanese and the Chinese, you understand? What's going on with, you know what I'm saying, in South Africa between the South Africans and those Hamites and the French and the Dutch and these nations that are in their country. You understand? It's kingdom rising against kingdom. The balance of power, the shift of power is shifting in the earth, man. You understand? It's nation rising against nation. You understand? Meaning race wars. We're seeing it, right? Over there in Chicago, there was a Palestinian march for a free Palestine march in Chicago, and you had clashes between blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and supporters of Palestine, most likely Arabs. You dig what I'm saying? An entire clash. All these things have been prophesied, man. And with us seeing these prophecies coming to pass, right? Wars and rumors of wars. We can smell World War III on the horizon, right? And what does all this mean? We know that it means it's the coming of our King. It's the coming of Yahushua, the coming of Christ, that the kingdom of God is at hand. You understand? And even though we know that the coming of Christ means the coming of World War III, which is the coming of destruction. You understand? As the Apostle John said, even so, come, Lord. Meaning what? Knowing that when Christ comes, it's gonna bring death. You know what I'm saying? Christ is coming to judge and make war. It's gonna mean death and destruction. But even so, come. Why? Because we who really follow Christ, we who really follow Yahushua, the true followers of Christ, even if it means our death, we want this wicked kingdom to fall, man. We want this evil society and this wicked world to come under the authority, under the captivity of Christ's rulership, man. You understand? Because other than that, there is no hope for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You understand? So we are looking for Christ to come. That's what we're looking for. And just like that's on the minds of his disciples now, it was on the mind of his disciples then. You understand? And that's what we're reading. We're in Matthew 24, okay? The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and we're going to start at verse 3. You understand? Because while the end of all things was on the mind of Christ's disciples, what was on Christ's mind was brotherhood, man. You understand? Brotherhood was on the mind of Christ. You understand? Why? Because the Most High put brotherhood on the mind of Christ. You understand? So let's read. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? Right? They want to know when Christ is coming back, just like how we want to know right now, right? And the end of the world, right? Does that mean the planet Earth being destroyed? No. What's the end of the world? That word world means society, right? The scriptures say that the end of the world, that Esau is the end of the world, right? And Jacob is the beginning of that which followeth. Meaning what? That the last society to be in power before the reign of Christ is Esau, which is the so-called, the so-called white man, the so-called Caucasian, according to the Bible, all right, the nation of Edom, that they will be the ruling race or ethnicity in the world before the return of our king, before the beginning of the rule of Jacob, which is the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You understand? So you have to understand, when the disciples are asking this to Christ, they're under the rulership of Rome, like how we're under the rulership of America. They were under the eagle like we're under the eagle. You understand? The same way we're under Joe Biden, they were under Pilate, Pontius Pilate, and under the Emperor Caesar. You understand? And it was the same things going on. You understand? There's nothing new under the sun. So the same way how we want our oppressor to fall, the disciples wanted their oppressor to fall. And they're asking Christ because they know when Christ comes, he's coming to establish the kingdom. He's coming to reign on earth. So they saying, when are you coming? But listen to what Christ says to them, okay? All right. Let's go let's start at verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. You understand? So when you're thinking about the end of all things, the end of the world of our oppressor, you got to be careful that you're not deceived. All right? For many shall come in my name. And that's what we have right now. That's why, we always have to say that the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana is not affiliated with any other Israelite groups, because many are going to come in the name of Christ, you know what I'm saying, calling themselves Christ, or saying that they do the works of Christ or come in the spirit of Christ, man. But we're going to find out what the actual spirit of Christ is, because, a lot of people, they only love with their words. They only talk love with their words. And, the love of God is the truth. But what we all understand is that if you're really in the truth makes enemies. You understand? The truth doesn't bring everybody together. The truth divides people. It brings those who love the truth together, but it separates everybody else. You understand? All right? And we're going to drop down because I already covered some of these, right? We're going to drop down to verse 8. Talking about nation rising against nation, what we're seeing right now, right? Famines, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places, right? All these are the beginning of sorrows, man. You understand? It's the beginning. And why is Christ saying that? Christ is saying that because there's a scripture in the book of Ecclesiastes, not Ecclesiasticus, but Ecclesiastes. And I'm just going to paraphrase it. But it says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Why is he saying this is the beginning of sorrows? Because it's the start of everything. You understand? But better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Why? Because in the beginning, you don't know when something's going to end. You don't know when it's going to be over. Right? So what does that mean? That you got to have your mind right. You got to have your spirit right. You got to be focused, because when you're going through tribulation, when you're going through a trial, you got to have your mind set, because you don't know when this thing is going to be over with. But the only thing that you can really rely and concentrate on is that you got to endure through it. Because if you break or you fold, right, worrying about when it's going to be over, you can fall out, man. I'm talking about, I'm not just talking about the truth. I'm talking about just going through a trial. You understand? If you're sitting there thinking about, man, when is this going to be over with, man, you should just be like, hey, I'm in this. I'm sitting in this thing. You understand? And my job don't change whether this thing it ends or not. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm on my square. I'm focused. I'm doing as I'm ordered to do. I'm occupying until he come. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Captain Mashak and ISUPK United Kingdom. You understand? Out there in the UK, standing against the mob. You understand? The rage of the heathens. Why do the heathen rage? You understand? Against that tumult, you know what I'm saying, of our enemies, man. Standing strong and boldly for our king. shout out to the to ISUPK UK. You know what I'm saying? Captain Mashak and Captain Karathia and all those mighty men in the UK that stood against that mob. You know what I'm saying? That mob of wicked men and wicked heathens that stand against us while we teach the word of our power, the Most High God, Yahweh. You understand? All right. But the whole thing is that we have to stay focused, because if we're worried about how long is this gonna last, it's like a lot of relationships, man. You're gonna go through difficult moments and times and have different emotions, man. But you got to be committed to the fact that I'm not leaving this. I made a vow and an oath. I'm not abandoning my oath. I'm not abandoning my vow. You know what I'm saying? If you a sister, I gave my body to this man. This is my husband for life. I don't care how hard it get. You understand? I don't care how difficult it becomes. Same for the brothers. I don't care how irritating she gets or how much of a nag or how emotional she get. You know, unless she violate and lay with another man, that's my rib until I die. You understand? So we got to concentrate on following orders, because it's the beginning of sorrows. All right, let's continue. Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and they shall kill you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Listen, you know, a lot of Christian groups talk about Jacob's trouble. Like they talk about this, you know, the tribulation, the 7 years of tribulation. The nation of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we've been in Jacob's trouble, man, since the garden. You know what I'm saying? Since Egypt, since the Babylonian captivity, the Assyrian captivity. You understand? You know, the Roman, the Greek captivity. You know what I'm saying? The destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, having to flee into Africa, getting put on boats across the transatlantic slave trade, suffering the hells of chattel slavery here in North America, man, or in the islands, you know what I'm saying, of the West Indies, man. You understand? Or you know, our brothers getting sent over to Spain. You know what I mean? Grabbed up by the Spaniards, man, and destroyed by the Spaniards and the English, man. We've been in Jacob's trouble, man. You understand? We've been delivered up to be afflicted and to be killed. You understand? That's been happening to us from the beginning. Let's keep reading. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my sake. Hated of all nations for his sake, man. Why? Because let me tell you something, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what we have to understand is that when you stand with Christ, you have to expect the hate. You understand? It's like what's my man name, man? Mano, right? Hustle Hard. He had that song, High Haters. When you align yourself with Christ, when you commit yourself to Christ, you should be looking for the hate. If you following God and you're not experiencing hate, and I don't mean hate like they hating on me because I got a good job. They hating on me because I have a good relationship. They hating on me because, you know, I got fly clothes, or they hating on me because I got this nice car. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the hate that's received from knowing that you are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that you are the nation of Israel, whom these other nations have conspired against to cut us off from being a nation, man. Why? Why have these nations come together and built a confederacy to prevent the children of Israel from being a nation? Why? How come? If you on YouTube, if you on Facebook, this is an interactive dialogue. We in class right now. You know, you're going to have to give some feedback. All right? I can wait. We're not in no rush. We here right now. Why? Why have all these nations come together in hatred of us to cut us off from being a nation? What's the reason? Okay, I don't see no answers, so let me help you out. Because us being a nation under Christ means that we're in rulership. That those that are currently on the top are going to be on the bottom. That there's going to be a changing of the guard, a role reversal. They hate us because we are who God has chosen. And you know, and if you know, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we should take pride in that the Lord has chosen us. We getting stepped on. You understand? We trodden under the foot of men. You understand? We go through hell. You know what I'm saying? The black man is the enemy of the world. Everything that goes on wrong in the world is our fault, right? But the one thing that we can hold on to is that the Most High chose us. He chose the black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, woman and child, man. We can hold on to that. You understand? And that's enough, because why? Having that understanding, having that knowledge, we know that at the end of all of this, we're going to be right where the Most High wants us to be at, man, if we're with him. If we're with him, man. But that's going to require something of us. You understand? Not being paranoid and anxious, waiting for, you know, what's going to happen when the missiles launch, and, you know what I'm saying, and you know, the stores run out of food. We should be concentrating on what was on Christ's mind. You understand? Let's keep reading. Hated of all nations for what do you say? And you should be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Not hated because you got to go, you know, you got a nice grill. Not hated because your hair is done good and your outfit is you know what I'm saying, is lit. Not hated because you buying up all the bottles in the club. You know what I'm saying? Not hated because you got the latest J's. You're going to be hated for my name's sake. You're going to be hated because you understand who Christ is, that he's a black man from the tribe of Judah, and that he gave his life for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And you stand on that. 10 toes down, in between the 10 toes. You know what I mean? You know, if you got an ear to hear. You understand? That you're not moving off of that truth. That Christ was a black man that died for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You're going to be hated because that's who Christ came for, right? I have not come except for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man. I'm not sent. You got to stand. Christ stood on that. And if you say you follow Christ, then you got to stand on that. That's how we know that Christianity has nothing to do with this Bible, man. It has nothing to do with this Bible. It ain't got nothing to do with this, man. You understand? Because in this Bible is our records. You understand? And the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. That through patience, through patience, hope, and comfort of the scriptures, we might have hope. Paraphrasing. You understand? Because what hope do we have in this world? What, SNAP, WIC, TANF, a tax subsidy from the government, a stimulus check, PPP. What's our hope? Trump coming into office? What, Joe Biden dying and Kamala Harris becoming the president? What, BRICS? What's our hope? Bitcoin? You bought enough Bitcoin and you'll be able to escape what? The troubles and the economic collapse? What's our hope? A bunker? What's our hope? Some farmland? Let me tell you something, man. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. And righteousness is in our records. It's in these records, man. It's in these scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying? Brotherhood, man. That's the only thing that's going to deliver us from the hands of our enemies, man. From the hands of those that hate us. That hate us for his name's sake. Let me go ahead and get that real quick. John 15 and 17. Y'all with me? John 15 and 17, man. All right. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let Christ speak, man. I'm going to let Yahushua speak and see what our King said. All right? This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 17. These things I command you. It's not a suggestion. You understand? It's not an idea that you should probably consider. It's a command. That's something that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. I mean, in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, we are being taught and trained to renew our minds. You know what I'm saying? To come out of the world and change our minds and prepare ourselves for the kingdom. You understand? And in the kingdom, we don't deal with suggestions. We deal with orders. We don't live our lives according to our will, according to our emotions and our feelings and our whims. We follow orders. We keep the commands of the men above us. The men above us keep the commands of the men above them. You understand? All the way up to the generals, all the way up to Commander General Yohana, all the way up to Christ, all the way up to the Most High, man. You understand? When we hear command, it's a non-negotiable. It's not nothing to talk about. It's no debate. And this is what Christ commanded. Verse 17, these things I command you, that ye love one another. Now, if we got Christians in here, they're going to say, well, God said love everybody. No, Christ commanded that we love one another. And who was Christ talking to? Christ was talking to the Israelites, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, man. You understand? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The command from Yahushua was for us to love one another. Why? Why did Christ have to command us to do it? I see we got viewers, but who's active? You know what I'm saying? Who's active today in this class, man? Who's active? Why did Christ command us to love one another? I'm going to tell you why. Because the world hates you. That's why. The world hates you, so all we have is each other. That's it. We can't look to anybody else. What did Jeremiah say, man? I'm paraphrasing. We have looked to a nation that cannot save us. We can't look to the Chinese. We can't look to the East Indian. We can't look to our so-called oppressor. We can't look to the African. We can't look to the Pacific Islanders, the Hawaiians and the Guamanians. You understand? We can't look to any of them, and we damn sure can't look to the Arabs. We saw that out there in the UK with our brothers, man. You got the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying? And these people who want to, these Orthodox black Muslims that want to tell us that the Quran is the holy book. Man, the Quran is toilet paper, man. You understand? The Quran belongs in the garbage pail. The Quran is great for the Arabs. Let the Arabs strap the Quran to their chest while they go against their enemies and blow themselves up, man. You know what I mean? To achieve, their afterlife. Let the sons of Ishmael, you know what I'm saying, chant to their power with the Quran strapped to their chest, along with all that Semtech and everything else they got to blow themselves to smithereens, man. But that ain't got nothing to do with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And you got our people trying to lead us into that when we saw how they felt about us in the UK, man. But I'm not going to get off track. You understand? But we know that we can't go to them. They showed how they felt about us with our brothers out there in the UK. They let you know how they feel about you, black man. Right? Free Palestine. Right? Pray for France. Right? Pray for Ukraine. Pray for bum F, whatever, right? Pray for anybody except for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. When we're the ones that need it. This is why Christ had to give a command to us to love one another. Because nobody loves us, and we damn near don't even love ourselves, man. So Christ had to make it in order. All right? Let's keep reading. That you love one another. Verse 18. And if the world hates you, and we know that it does, the world hates us. The world hates us. If you a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, and really, I just want to say black because we all black. You understand? If you a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, the world hates you. And you know how I know they hate you? Because nobody cries and nobody sheds a tear for your pain and suffering. But they want you to cry and shed tears for all of what they deal with and go through. But no, it's never given how it's demanded from us. Right? How our loyalty is demanded. Right? How our commitment is required. You know, they always want to know about our patriotism, how our forgiveness when we're violated. The first question always is, if a black man gets shot for pulling out his wallet, or for being black and unarmed and gets murdered, or if a black sister or Hispanic brother or sister or Native Indian brother or sister gets slaughtered, right, by law enforcement, what's the first question they always ask us? What's the first question they always ask us? Do you expect justice? Right? Or do they ever empathize with the pain and the suffering that we go through? What's always the first question that they ask, man? Anybody? Y'all help me out. Y'all help me out. When you see a grieving mother who just had her son shot down with 30 rounds from 6 different police officers, right? Because they thought he was reaching for a weapon and they were in fear for their life. What's the first thing that the reporter says on the steps of the courthouse when the not guilty verdict comes out? What's the first thing they got to say? Huh? Y'all help me out. They put the mic right in their face, right? They put the mic right in their face. You just got you just heard the verdict. The police officers were declared not guilty by a jury of their peers. You know, the judge set them free. How do you feel right now? And what's the next question? Nobody in the chat, huh? Nobody? All right, let me help you out. Do you forgive them? Do you forgive them? When is that question ever asked of any other nation? Do you forgive them for what they did? Why are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians always required to have this high level of what they want to? Maybe it's because I don't see it as that. I don't see it as morality or nobility, but that's how the world views it, right? We suffer the most atrocious violations, and we're assaulted and violated and abused, and we're not even given a listen in the Bible, right? In the scriptures, if you had a family member, right, somebody that was respected in your family, in the community, if they died, you were given a period of time to mourn their death. And we don't deal with numbers in the, in our culture. But we were given a period of time to mourn their passing. And this could be them dying a death of old age. Not dying the death of the curse, right? But in old age. We were given a time to mourn. In this hell that we're living in, we're not even given time to mourn. We're not even given justice. But they ask us, do you forgive them for what they did? Who has a mic in the face of the Palestinians asking them, do they forgive them for bombing Gaza and bombing their buildings and slaughtering their children and their women? Who's asking the Israelis, do you forgive them, the Hamas, in the Palestinians for flying over with hang gliders and dropping grenades and kicking in doors and pulling out women and urinating on unalived bodies? Are the reporters with the bulletproof vest on and the helmets in the thick of war and battle, running with the cameras and talking about incoming missiles? Are they putting mics in the face of the Israeli Defense Force, asking them, do you forgive Hamas? Do you forgive the Palestinians for what they did? Who put a mic in the face of George Bush the day after 9/11 when the towers were knocked down, right, by so-called enemies from Afghanistan, right? Those that were associated with Osama bin Laden. Who put a mic in front of his face and said, do you forgive? Do you forgive them? Al-Qaeda? For hijacking planes and flying innocent civilians on planes into buildings? Who asks any nation on this earth that suffers an atrocity? Who asks the so-called Jewish man, who puts a mic in his face and says, you know, when you see a 90-year-old Nazi in a court, right, being judged for crimes that were committed over 30 to 40 years ago, 50 years ago, being brought in and you know, in their geriatric. Geriatric is a $1,000 word for an old man, right? An elderly man, right? When they're being brought into court and they can barely walk, they're in wheelchairs and they got IVs connected to their arm while they're sitting in court, right? Before this tribunal being judged for war crimes, right? For possibly being part of the German you know, hierarchy that had so-called Jews people put into ovens and unalived, right? Who puts the mic in front of the so-called Jewish man's face and says, you know, that was years ago. Do you forgive? Do you forgive the Nazis? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, this is what Christ said. He said, if the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. Because what have blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians done? What have we done to bring on this hate? What have we done? What cities have we bombed? What cities have we massacred? What people have we lynched? What countries have we invaded? Who have we slaughtered? Where's our war crimes on the world stage? We have none. You know where our crimes are at? Our crimes are against each other. We sell each other drugs. We shoot each other down. We prostitute our daughters and our women. Our women sleep with, abandon their husbands and become whores and become adulteresses. Our women set their men up to be robbed and murdered over money, over a bag. We treat each other this way. We unalive each other. That's where our crimes are at, and our crimes are before the Most High God, Yahweh. Our crimes are before our Father. But you know what the world does? The world takes what we do to each other, and they accuse us before the Most High. They accuse us on the world stage, man. We are the what do you call that? What's that? What's that when the criminals that be on the? We're on the top 10. We're number one on the list of culprits for the world, man. You don't believe me? Let me show you. And Captain Yatazak brought this out in Sunday Scripture Breakdown. And let me tell you something. If you didn't get a chance to watch that class, you need to watch that class. And if you watched it, you need to watch it again. Sunday Scripture Breakdown, ISUPK Killeen, the zookeeper cannot take our pride. These heathens can't hold us down, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Puff and Mace, man. Let me show y'all something. me show y'all something. Mm-hmm. One second. Yeah, I'm going to show you how the world feels about you. You understand? I'm going to show you how the world feels about you. Y'all listen to this, man. Okay, listen to this. This is a high-level Israeli diplomat speaking about what the major problem between Israel and Palestine is. What they need to focus on in regards to this conflict between Israel and Palestine. What the issue is. Listen to this.
Video of the Israeli government holding a private convention here in the United States. One of the people in attendance at this secret meeting was Judith Varnai Shorer. She's a former Israeli consul general who was operating out of Atlanta. She was one of the main people saying that the biggest problem that they had was young black people in the United States. But don't worry, they've got some black leaders on the payroll.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. The problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black is with the young generation of the black community.
This was an Israeli government official who was saying this, not some low-level operative or some rogue member of their diplomatic corps. This was a senior member of their administrative government who was saying this on American soil. Their biggest problem wasn't Hamas or Hezbollah or the Palestinian Authority or Syria or even Iran. She said that Israel's biggest problem was young black people in the United States.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? This is what Christ is talking about. He gave an order, love you one another, because the world hates you. It hates you. We're looking for Christ to return. But Christ is talking to his disciples, and he's letting them know what the environment and the vibe and the spirit is going to be before he returns, and where your mind should be at. Let's read. Verse 18. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. What did Christ do? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, what did we do? What did Christ do to get the hate that he got? He loved God. And by loving God, what did that mean? He loved his brothers and his sisters, man. He loved his nation. He loved his people. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He commanded his disciples, go ye not into the way of the Gentiles, nor enter ye not into any city of the Samaritans, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's why he was hated. Because he kept God's laws, he loved his brothers, and he taught his people the truth. Christ was an innocent black man. He was an unarmed black man, unalived, for loving his people, for having brotherhood, man. But we in these last days, and Christ has given us a warning. Okay, let's get back to it. Matthew 24. All right. And you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended. Many are going to be offended. Why are they going to be offended? I get some help. I get some help. Why are many going to be offended? Right? When they see us being hated of all nations. This is talking about people that's in the truth. You got a lot of people who say they in the truth. They know they Israelites, right? Or like my man Shar say, you a gospelite. You understand? Let me tell you something. There's safety and protection in the ISUPK. If you want to follow Christ, if you want to follow Yahushua, you want to follow the Most High, you got sanctuary, safety and protection in the ISUPK. You know why? Because we do as Christ did. We love our brothers and our sisters, man. It's not an idea. It's not a feeling. It's not something I'm going to do, because I wake up and feel like it. It's because it's law. It's an order. It's an oath. So you come in here, you're going to be protected, even against yourself. If you outside of these walls, Lord be with you, man. You understand? Because people, just because you know you an Israelite, doesn't mean that you got brotherhood. Just because you know the laws and you don't eat pork and, you have fellowship on the Sabbath and say happy Sabbath, that don't mean that you got brotherhood, man. As a matter of fact, I'm almost convinced you can't have brotherhood. Because you're amongst yourselves. You got your little group and you separate off to yourselves. You hiding in your house. Your lamp is under a bushel. Brotherhood is not, you can't see brotherhood in secrecy. You understand? Our brotherhood is on the corners. You call us Power Rangers. You say, why don't y'all got jobs? What's all that yelling on the corner? When you love somebody and you see a car coming, you know what I'm saying? You love your child, you see a car coming and they in the street, playing in the street. You're not going to talk softly and say, hey, you should get out the street. This car is traveling at 70 miles an hour and you're running to grab the bouncy ball. You're running to grab the basketball. You understand? You're gonna scream and shout. And that was an order given by the Most High to lift up our voice as a trumpet and spare not. What does spare not mean? It means we don't spare your feelings. The Lord has made our head harder than y'all's heads. Why? Because we have to break through the Stockholm syndrome of our people. They talk about us in, that we're cults, we're in a cult and we're deceiving the people and all this toxic masculinity. I put forth that y'all who condemn the ISUPK, that y'all are in a toxic relationship with your oppressor. Everybody loves toxic, right? The ups and downs, the highs and lows. One minute they hate you and then you love them because they hate you. Because they're not really giving you what you want. They got you on edge, right? Let me continue. Many are going to be offended because they haven't accepted Christ, right? Ain't that what Christians say? Christians always say, have you accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior? Have you accepted Christ into your life? Y'all don't know what it means to accept Christ. We don't know what it means to accept Christ. To accept Christ means to accept the hate. It's to accept the hate of your enemies and to show love to your family, your real family. But y'all who say that you are in the truth, like my brother Shar, you understand? Shar on Slayer said, you're not Israelites, you're gospelites. And we ain't talking about the true gospel of Christ. We talking about what goes on on Sunday in them churches with them pork chop pastors. You understand? And them catfish deacons. You understand? And them shrimp eating deaconesses. Gospelites. You have the knowledge of being an Israelite, but you move as a Christian. And when all this hate starts to surround, listen, I'm going to get to it. But like my brothers in the UK, you understand? When that hate is live and in color, and you face to face with the hatred of the nations, with the heathens raging, what you gonna do? You gonna get offended because you embraced Christianity instead of accepting Christ. When your family turns on you because you don't want to celebrate birthdays no more. See, some of y'all, man, you're not even protecting your children. Your children are not even protected from the lies of this society because you don't watch over them. Mothers, you are the first teachers of culture to the children. That's your job. And while it's good that you go to feed them and bathe them and take care of them, your primary concern should be giving them the milk. I'm not saying that you got to dump, all the meat of the heaviness of this truth on these babies, but you should be giving them the milk. They should at least know I shouldn't be singing songs about Halloween. I shouldn't be want to repeat to my trick or treat, Halloween, Halloween. Because you're the first line of defense for their minds. You understand? To watch over them and to groom them into the truth because they have bigger fights ahead of them. We're always worried about, that's why Christ said, isn't the, you worried about what you're going to wear, ain't the body more important than the clothes? You worried about what you're going to eat and what they're going to eat, but ain't the spirit more important than the body? All right, man, moving on. You understand? They're going to be offended because they never accepted Christ. They were never prepared for the hate. They only embraced Christianity. And when you embrace Christianity, all you're doing is looking for love. That's all you're looking for. And you're looking for love in the wrong places, man. Your mind is looking for love, and it's love in the wrong places, man. You understand? And with that, let's go to Jeremiah 2:33. Okay? Looking for love in the wrong places, man. And I'm about to show y'all another clip because that's what happened to, he was our brother. He ain't our brother no more. He's joined himself unto them. You understand? I'm talking about Amari Stoudemire, and all the men above me have gone through this, in a better way than I ever could. But I just gotta, play the video again to bring the point home. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Amari Stoudemire he is not converted to Judaism. Amari Stoudemire is a Christian. He's a Sunday Christian. You understand? He's just choosing to follow this set of white people that stole our culture and identity. You know what I'm saying? That's it. He's a Christian because that's what Christianity does to our people. It makes us idolize the people who violate us and harm us and hate the people who are violated and abused. All right? And instead of you embracing your culture, you compromise. You know what I mean? You conform yourself to the world that hates you. That's the crazy part. You trying to make all these adjustments. You won't listen. You get a job. That job tells you that there's a dress code and you got to go to orientation and these are the codes of conduct. And if you're not willing to fall in line with these codes of conduct, you will not be employed here. And because you're getting a check, you do everything that you can to make sure that you fall in line with the guidelines, procedures, and protocols of that employer, who 9 times out of 10 is your oppressor. But your husband give you a layout of instructions, and not even half of what your oppressor at your job does, and you got all the mouth in the world. Right? The men in the ISUPK, the men above us, the captains, the officers, the high-ranking officers, all the officers, right? They give us orders and instructions, and they're willing to give their lives for us. They're willing to die for us. And now it's they ain't got no brotherhood. Now it's, I don't, he telling me to do this, and knowing damn well that an order is never being given that wasn't accomplished by them. And everything that's being done is for our sakes, for they watch over our souls. But we ain't got no problem following the leadership of the heathens for a check that gets taxed, right? And then interest rates go up, food prices go up, gas prices go up. So the check that we're getting is not even enough to make ends meet, but we're willing to fall in line for the crumbs that fall from the master's table. We'll sit like a puppy with his tongue out for a crumb, but then bark at the dogs in our pack, when we have to go back and be with them anyway. You don't stay up in the master's house. You there to do his bidding, and then you gotta leave. And he don't leave you with much. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Why trimmest thou way to seek love? Amari Stoudemire, he found out he was an Israelite. He started talking that talk. Oh, for y'all who know, it's always this grand rising and woke. For y'all who's woke, you understand? We know who the true Israelites is, and we coming into the knowledge. All to put on a small hat and to get the Shirley Temple curly cues on the side of his face. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might not even know this, man, but Amari Stoudemire, he has a wine vineyard, a vineyard that actually produces wine and sells wine, okay, over in the land of Israel. He set up a charity from the profits and the proceeds from that winery and that vineyard to contribute to what's the word so I don't get knocked off of YouTube or Facebook. What is the word for I'm trying to think of what the appropriate word is for children who have mental difficulties, right? You know what we used to call them and what we used to say, right? But for children who are mentally affected and have mental defects to where they cannot function as normal children, I'm not even talking about at the level of autism. I'm talking about beyond that. He set up a charity from the profits of his winery to create a school for them and a playground for them. And he funds it every year. And these are all so-called Jewish children. I'm not even talking about who they want to call the African Jewish man or the Felucias or the Ethiopian Jew, dark-skinned Jews, or even the people that's over there in by the nuclear waste site, Salaki. I can't think of it right now. You know the our people who left here from America and settled in Israel. I can't think of the name of their group right now, but he didn't even send it to them. He took all of that he built over there to fund their children. When we're dealing with an autism crisis here in America amongst our children, from God knows what, the food, the water, the air, everything is against us out in here, man. You understand? The lead in the paint. You understand? In our apartments and our projects, affecting our children. And this is how you know that Amari Stoudemire does not follow Christ. He doesn't care about Israelites. He only cares about Israelis. And let me show you. Okay? Now, you see, this is called beast mode. And hold on, let me go ahead and just play it. Y'all peep game. And I'm sure y'all have seen this 1,000 times, but hey, this is one of them that never gets old.
Beast mode.
3, 2, 1.
I woke up, man, this morning with some disturbing news out of Israel. That Hamas is kidnapping children, putting them in cages, killing women, killing the elderly. That's some coward shit. That's cowardly. And for all y'all Black Lives Matter who ain't saying nothing, well, let me figure out exactly what happened before I say anything. Fuck you.
Now you see that, y'all? Y'all saw that? It's funny how spiritual things can be. It said beast mode. And I'm going to tell you something. Amari Stoudemire was definitely in beast mode. Amari Stoudemire was in beast mode because you know what he has? The mark of the beast. Everything that you heard was the product of Christianity, man. I want to ask y'all a question. Amari Stoudemire said, he said, I've heard some disturbing news out of Israel. And I was blown. I'm like, okay, what's going on with our people? He said, disturbing news out of Israel. They putting babies in cages. Who else? Who else had babies getting put in cages? They killing women. We don't remember Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland. Huh? The sister in Georgia, the elderly woman in Georgia, when the police kicked in her door and it was a no-knock warrant, and came into the wrong house and shot her in her rocking chair in her own home. Elderly and a woman. Where was Amari Stoudemire to speak on behalf of the Hispanic babies that were getting put in cages in the border, and the women being killed and sex trafficked, and the elderly women who were dying trying to escape the cartel wars in Mexico coming across the border, man, being stopped by the border patrols, drowning in the rivers trying to cross over here for sanctuary. Where was the voice of Amari Stoudemire then? Where was the voice of Amari Stoudemire for any of our people being slaughtered by law enforcement, man? Unarmed. Jeremiah. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? What made Amari Stoudemire make those statements? Was he seeking our love? Because he said, F you to black people. For all you Black Lives Matter. For us who care about the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, F you. Because you don't give a damn about what's going on in Israel. When have Israelis ever went to bat for us being slaughtered here in America? When have Palestinians ever went to bat for us being slaughtered here in America? For blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians being slaughtered? For our Gadite and Reubenite brothers wasting away on reservations, dying of alcoholism, living in subpar conditions. They're not even living in shanty houses. They're living on boards of wood on cement blocks with sheet metal for a roof. No electricity, no running water. Where was Amari Stoudemire's cry for justice with the suffering of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? The people who he acknowledged 3 years ago as being the Israelites. There was none. Why? Because he had to trim his ways. He had to trim off his culture. He had to cut off what God gave him by heritage, by right, to get the approval of thieves, criminals who have committed identity theft. The mark of the beast. The mark of the beast. Beast mode. Yeah, that's spiritual. That's spiritual. Moving on. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. What does that mean? When you have these traitors of our people, because they see the hatred of our people, they see what we're up against, that we're surrounded on all sides. Christ said, when you see Jerusalem surrounded, know that the end is near. Now, he was talking about the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. But we also know Jerusalem is not just the city, it's the people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Jerusalem was surrounded in the UK with Captain Mashak and Captain Karathia, you understand, and those mighty men in the United Kingdom, man, in the ISUPK, who stood with their captains, man, against a mob of dogs. Jerusalem was surrounded. But you have cowards and traitors that when they see Jerusalem surrounded, when they see blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians surrounded, and we're being blamed for all the ills and all the pain of the world and all the tragedy of the world, they're going to become offended because they thought, man, follow, you know, I embraced Christianity. I didn't embrace this. I didn't get into this for this. They're going to be offended. Matthew 24:10. And then shall many be offended and shall hate one another. What you saw with Amari Stoudemire was hatred. Amari Stoudemire is fulfilling the words of Christ. He saw what Kanye was going through. He saw what Kyrie Irving was going through. You understand? He saw what the ISUPK has been going through since 1969. Don't get it twisted. These Christian groups that call themselves Israelites, they've been watching Commandant General Yohana, man. You understand? Like that's what happens. They hop on the internet, they see an Israelite group, and they try to go watch the oldest videos, and they see the ISUPK. And then they see the strength and the power of the Most High and the prophets of the Most High God as we reveal the shame of our oppressor. The scripture says that shame shall cover thee for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, man. Standing with great boldness before the face of those that have afflicted us, man. Not afraid to say that the so-called Caucasian, the so-called white man, you understand, is the devil that the Bible speaks of without fear. Free men. And they see that and they're like, I don't know about that. I'm going to watch them and get the breakdowns, but, I think, I know there was a brother with a Christian Israelite group in California, and he was having a conversation, you know what I'm saying? He said, we not like them brothers from New York. They come hard. They come hard. We just choose to do it a different way. They trim their ways to seek love. What does a prophet of God have if it's not his voice, man? What weapons do we have outside of our voice? Everybody else can cry out and speak and have a voice on the world stage. You take our families from us. You take our children from us. You take the image of a black man and you stomp on it till it's dust. And Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK takes the men that you stomp on that are trodden under the foot of our enemies, and he takes that dust and he raises and takes gold and turns it into gold and gives us our voice back. The voice of God, the words of God, for us to speak the truth. And you want to cut that off? You want to silence that? You want to silence that in us? You want to tell us to be quiet? What did that white reporter from Fox News tell LeBron James when he was speaking on the atrocities that were happening to our people? What did she tell him? Just shut your mouth and dribble your basketball. Entertain us. Listen, we love our brothers and sisters, man. You understand? We love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But you're more, when I say more than a Cardi B, I'm not talking about, listen, Cardi B is a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. You understand? But you're more than a sexy red. You're more than a Cardi B. And what do I mean? I mean what they want us to be. They want us to, they want to reduce us to prostitutes. They want to reduce us to murderers, to drug dealers, because the Most High said that we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood above any nation upon the face of the earth, man. And they want us to fall into that mold instead of what the Lord gave us, man, our heritage, which is rulership. You wonder why it's ramping up, you know, it's getting more ignorant. It's because we at the end. We at the end. That's why. Let's keep reading, man. Matthew 24. And then many shall be offended and shall betray one another. That was a betrayal from Amari Stoudemire, man, what he said. He betrayed his people. You understand? And shall hate one another. Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise. Why? Why in this vibe of hatred from the world, hatred from these nations, man? Why can false prophets arise? Y'all help me out. Y'all help me out. Why? Okay. I'll help you out. Because where there's no brotherhood, you're in the perfect position to be deceived, man. Listen, false prophets thrive off of the lack of brotherhood. That's why these Christian Israelite groups have so many big numbers. That's why Christian churches and mega churches, that's why they were able to fill stadiums. Because where there's no brotherhood, deception is at an all-time high, man. Because, see, brotherhood forces you to examine yourself. You have to examine yourself to see if you're in the truth. Do I love my brother? Because why? There's a protocol. There's a guideline. You can't love your brother and be talking to somebody else if you have a problem with him without having talked to him and going to him and him alone. You don't love your brother. You don't love your brother if he offends you and you don't take him to counsel. You don't love your brother, but you want to, let your anger go on to the next day. And then a demon get on you. And now you feel like, the demon got you feeling like, it got you leaning to your own understanding and being wise in your own mind, wise in your own eyes. And you feel like you understand what's going on with your brother and you got them all figured out. You didn't weigh and measure them. Let me tell y'all this real fast, man. The voice of God is not in your head. The voice of God is in the mouth of his prophets. And you don't know a damn thing until you hear the judgment from the prophets, from the judges, from the priesthood. That's when you know a thing. You don't know a damn thing until you hear the judgment. And you can't hear the judgment until you go through the process. And see, a lot of us, we don't want to go through the process. We don't want to go through what it takes to love our brothers and our sisters. We rather just be in our feelings. We rather just seclude ourselves. Make statements like, when you love somebody, you show it by where you at. When you love somebody, you show it by where you go. That's not what love is. Love is that when you got a problem with somebody, you go to them and you tell them your problem. And you give them the opportunity to make it right. And if they don't make it right, the ISUPK Commander General Yohana has provided us with counsel, with wise judges who are objective and not personally involved in your situation, who can judge accurately, man. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai for Commanding General Yohana. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai for all the generals under his command, all the captains under his command, all the officers under his command, and for the structure and the infrastructure of counsel and judgment within this body, the body of Christ, the home of the truth, man. That we don't have to go before the unjust, before the heathen with our issues. That we can resolve it within our nation, because that's what Christ said to do, what he commanded us to do. Amari Stoudemire emboldens the heathens and our enemies against us by pointing the finger. Obama is not a Negro. Obama is a Hamite. His daddy was a Kenyan. His mama was a Caucasian woman. But when he got into the seat of the presidency, what was his speech about? Black men need to get back in the homes. Black men need to get their act together. His first opportunity was to legislate homosexuality, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, right? The rainbow mafia to give them their rights, and then to condemn the black man who is stepped on by everybody, even by his woman. And when I say black, I mean black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. We're stepped on even by our woman who was given to us to be a helpmeet. We get stepped on by them and by our children. What do the scriptures say? Children are there, but as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Nah, man. Nah. Thank the Most High for Commander General Yohana, man. Because he came for brotherhood. He came in the spirit of Christ, man. Because nobody else cares about the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man but Christ. Because the Most High said that my flock are men. And the love of Christ is the love of your brother. And that's the love of black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, man. The spirit of brotherhood, man. Moving on. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. This is why you got these purple bastards. You understand? This purple group. Because why? False prophets can arise and deceive many. Why? Because they thrive where there's no brotherhood. They thrive where there's gossip, and you letting women lead the men. And you letting the men, whisper like women and behave like women. Knowing that the effeminate won't inherit the kingdom. False prophets thrive because why? They consolidate power by keeping the secrets of the people that they violate. You understand? That's how America operates. That's how the seats of power in the entertainment industry, in the political realms, they operate by secrets. They get you to compromise to where now your oath to them is based off of your shame. You're tied to them through your shame. You don't want to reveal the secret because in you revealing that secret, they can shame you, even though you know that they're filled with shame too. That's the bond. When in the truth, our bond is the oath of being in the light. The scripture says that a righteous man comes to the light to see that his deeds or his works are wrought in God, which means that wrought means to be hammered on, right? So you present yourself and it's like, no, that's not right. You get checked, bang, bang, bang. Oh, that's not right. You get put in the fire, pulled out like a sword in the furnace, bang, bang, bang. Okay, don't put him back in the fire. He ain't ready yet. He still got some impurities. Pull him out, put him in the water, take it out, bang on it, bang, bang, bang. Put it back in the heat. That's your life in the truth, that your works are wrought out in God. You have to conform yourself to the image of the Son of God, man. And that conforming is not a pleasant process because we've been shapen by iniquity. We've been raised in a society with wickedness and evil, to where making these changes, it hurts. You understand? But if you endure, it brings about the fruits of righteousness, man. Right thinking, right acting. It changes you, and your family's lives, man. If they follow you and take heed to your example. You understand? But in the world, man, they bind you to them by your lusts, by your secrets, and by your shame. But not in here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why Christ said the wicked won't come to the light. Because why? Their deeds are evil. They don't want their deeds to be exposed. That's why secrets are dangerous. They're dangerous. Because it doesn't allow for you to change, and it holds you hostage. And in the end, that's where your demons are. That's why your demons occupy at. They occupy that ground. And a demon's job is to what? To kill you. Right? Christ said, the Son of Man, I ain't come to destroy, I came to save. You know? All right, moving on. Verse 12, Matthew 24, chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, what does that mean? Because iniquity shall abound. What does that mean? Where we at? I need some help. What is, and iniquity shall abound? What does that mean? This is Matthew 24, chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound. What is iniquity? Let me help y'all out. Iniquity is lawlessness, man. Because lawlessness shall abound. What's the right way of saying that, man, nowadays? Because what does that mean? It means that the law is done away with. That we're not under the law, according to the Christian church, right? That Christ did away with the law because iniquity shall abound. Because people will have embraced Christianity and not accepted Christ, lawlessness shall abound. It's blowing me away how many people are absorbed in the lusts of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, man. It's life. Death has become life for many of our people. Death has become life, and life looks like death to them. Coming into the truth and actually changing your ways, it's like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Right? But in order for you to be born again, what has to happen? You have to die to who you were. And people are looking at life like it's death and looking at death like it's life. It's just life. Sexy Red had no shame about her sex tape being spread around. Officer Nakashawan just did a Facebook post and a reel about Ice Spice. She was on stage performing, and she basically didn't need to even have the dress on. I mean, all of her backside was hanging out. And, you know, it's sad, man, that it's sad that our sisters, it's nothing wrong. Listen, the Lord made our sisters beautiful, but it's sad that's the only place that they feel like they have their value. And, you know, you can tell, right? You know, Christ said that, you know, for after all these things do the Gentiles seek. And what did he say? To, you know, worried about what they're going to eat, drink, and what they're going to wear, right? You go on Instagram, what do you see? You see everybody showing what they eat, pictures of what they eat, pictures of their drinks, and what they're wearing. For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. And Peter said that it sufficed us in our former life to fulfill the will of the Gentiles, to pursue what they lust after, man. But our King Yahushua said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, man. You're concerned more about photos with your man and photos of your food and your drink, and I'm having a good time. You want to show everybody I'm having a good time, but you're not concerned about power. You're not concerned about our people being put back in position and being back under our King Christ and under the Most High and ruling over this earth and putting everything back in order, man. We just gotta, we gotta show that we better than each other. This is the meal I ate today. I'm focused. I'm evolving. I'm living life. Sisters always trying to make themselves separate. I'm when you get me, you get the prize. All these crazy quotes I be seeing, man. It's insanity. And the Most High said that He told sisters, through Peter, the thing that the Most High prizes, it's on the inside of you, sis. It's your integrity. It's your morality. You understand? Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having the broidered hair and the jewelry and looking fly. There's nothing wrong with that. But let the beauty that's on the outside of you, let it only be matched by the beauty that's on the inside of you. You know what I'm saying? The law of kindness that's on your tongue, that you speak with wisdom. And most of the time, speaking with wisdom means saying nothing at all, shutting your mouth. The scriptures say that he who shuts his mouth is counted as wise. So to speak with wisdom really means to be quiet. Moving on. All right. That because iniquity shall abound, because lawlessness is going to be rampant, because the Christian church teaches our people that the law is done away with, that Christ did away with the law, that Christ fulfilled the law. Yeah, Christ did fulfill the law. And the law is what? What is the law? Ultimately, what is the law? What is the spirit of the law? Y'all help me out. Okay, let me see what we got going on here. If I'm missing anything. Well, the spirit of the law is love. It's brotherhood, man. That's the spirit of Christ, is brotherhood. You understand? He said that because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That means the brotherhood of many. That means that this is the brotherhood of those that said that they were in the truth in the last days. While the disciples are asking Christ about what's the sign of your coming and the end of this world, he's telling them about how brotherhood is going to start to diminish. Why do you think Commander General Yohana places all of his energy into us gathering ourselves together and showing brotherhood? That brotherhood is what we focus on. Why? Because that's what Christ focused on, because that's what the Most High told Christ to focus on, to tell us to focus on, man. And Commander General Yohana comes in the spirit of Christ. And that is what everybody is trying to destroy, man. You understand? Because let me tell y'all something, man. Christ represents brotherhood. Listen, the true image of Christ, which is Christ being a black man, is brotherhood. Because who did we have to look to raise us up out of the dust? The scripture saying in Hebrews, I'm paraphrasing, that Christ did not take on the nature of angels, but in all things he was made like unto his brethren. You understand? A black man born in the ghettos, man. Nazareth. What good can come out of Nazareth, man? To have a black man to be able to look at the greatest man that ever lived and realize that he's our brother. He's our king, but he's our brother, man. You understand? The true image of Christ is brotherhood. Because us knowing that Christ was black and from the tribe of Judah, you understand? And that he overcame the world, what does that do? What does that do for every other black man on planet Earth? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. It gives us hope that the condition that we're in, being oppressed, being stepped on in this society, that we can rise above that. You understand? Kwam Yasha Allah, that we can rise. Us telling our people that Christ was black is one of the greatest acts of brotherhood, man. You understand? Because everybody is against us. Everybody's against us, man. You understand? And that love is growing cold. Let me show y'all what that word wax means, man, real fast, okay? Let me share this with y'all. Okay? The love of many will wax cold. All right? All right, this is the King James KJV dictionary definition of wax. Matthew 24 and 12, all right? And because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. This is what this word means, wax. It means waxed, or waxing. To increase in size, to grow, to become larger as the waxing and the waning moon. So, you know, with the moon, you see the face of the moon, it grows. It'll either grow into a full moon or it will wane into a dark moon, right? Where there's no light on the moon, okay? It means, the other word of it means to pass from one state to another, to become, as to wax strong or to wax warm or cold, or to wax feeble, to wax hot, to wax old, or to wax worse. So that word wax means to grow or to change from another state, okay? And it says the love of many. That means that people who found out that they were Israelites, but they really were gospelites, they were really Christians, they weren't immersed in the home of the truth. They didn't come home. They stayed out, you know what I'm saying, outside of the home and say, you know, I'm an individualite and I'm going to figure it out on my own. I'm not going to learn and grow in brotherhood. You understand? And you know, iron sharpening iron, and get my impurities and learn to be blameless and learn to really love my brother and care for my brother beyond my own selfish lusts and desires, right? And take the checkings and go to counsel. They wanted to figure it out on their own. That their love, their brotherhood is going to grow cold. You understand? And what did the prophet Elijah say? You know, how long will you halt between two opinions? Because God, listen, this is how you know that we're in the last days. Because what's starting to happen now is people are starting to divide and choose sides. You can't be in the middle no more. Let me take you there. Revelations 3. Okay? Let me take y'all there. You know what I'm saying? That love is growing cold. And it's perfect, it's beautiful, because you're showing Yahushua who you are. The wheat and the tares are growing together. You understand? As we get to the end, you're growing and showing what you are. Whether whether you were with us or you left us because you were never really with us in the first place. All right? Let me see. Revelation chapter 3. Where are we at? Verse 16. I know thy works. How does the Most High know our works? How does he know our works? Because of the Elohim, the angels. Because the angels are reporting what we do, how we operate, how we function, in the school and out of the school, in front of our brothers and in private. The angels are recording. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. A lot of our people are straddling the fence, man. They don't, they've been thinking that it's safe to be in the middle, when really, that's why World War III, the third woe, was so beautiful, because that's what war does. War reveals who is who and what is what. You understand? You can't hide in war. In war, you're either for a side, either you're with me or you're against me. And Christ made that clear. Either you gather with me or you scatter abroad. You scatter against me, man. And in these last days, it's going to become more evident. Now, it's always been evident to the prophets of the Most High. It's always been evident to the priests and prophets of God who's scattering and who's gathering. But it's going to become more evident and more clear as we get closer and closer, you know what I'm saying, in the end. I don't want to say to the end, in the end, because we're in the end. As my captain was, Yatazak would say, you understand, my captain would say, we not in the last days, we in the last day. Okay? I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou were cold or hot. Like, make it plain. You know what I'm saying? Who you riding with? Stop playing, you know, as my camp leaders say, stop playing the 50 with me. Keep it 100. You understand? That's what the Most High is saying. That's what Yahushua is saying, our King, right? So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spit or I will vomit, spew thee out of my mouth. And that's what you're going to see, man. You will see a lot of people who was playing both sides, acting like they was really down, and they're just going to get removed. They're going to get exposed and removed because they were never really in it in the first place. They were just playing the middle. And that's Christianity, because in Christianity, we're taught we can play a role. That's what a hypocrite is. It's a role player. It's an actor. You get on stage and you play a role. You say the script. Yahweh Shema Latham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatuh. Kwam Yashala. Who's the power? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is the power. That's not what's going to get you into the kingdom. The angels is writing down and giving reports the same way how we got to give reports in the school. The angels got to give reports. You understand? And the scriptures say, if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the sinner appear? In that day of judgment. You understand? That's why we have to examine ourselves. You understand? Make our election sure. You know what I'm saying? Not be sure, but make sure. Right? Moving on. I'm going to end off. Let me see how much time I got. Okay. 15 minutes. No sweat. I'm going to end it with this. I'm going to end it with something glorious, man. Glorious. I'm going to go to the book of John 15. And because, man, what happened this weekend with Captain Mashak in the UK was spiritual. And I can't even get off into how spiritual that was. You understand? But it was beautiful. What was beautiful was, you know what I'm saying, just seeing the brotherhood, man. Like the scriptures say, you know, how you know, I'm paraphrasing, how beautiful it is for the brothers to dwell in unity. It's like the oil that flowed from Aaron's head and down his beard onto his, you know, onto his garment. That's what that was out there, man. That all our brothers were on one accord. That was the love that Christ was talking about and telling his disciples about, man. About loving one another. Because see, what Amari Stoudemire seeking love from our enemies, it caused him to turn on his people. But Captain Mashak under Commander General Yohana, you understand, loving his people, Captain Karathia loving his people, you know what I'm saying, and willing to stand for our people, it brought on the hatred of the nations, which revealed that we follow Christ. Because we're one body. We was out there with him. I told Officer Shumgar that, man, I'm watching that video. He's out there. The video I saw, his headpiece was off. You understand? He was standing like Samson out there. And all I could think in my mind was, man, I wish I was there right beside my brother, man. To die. That's all I wanted. I wanted to be able to give my life next to Shamgar, man. Now Shamgar, that's not somebody you're gonna unalive easily. You understand? But I wanted to be willing to be unalived for the love of my brothers, man. That's all I felt. That's the only spirit that I felt. Is that I wanted to teleport from Texas to Birmingham, or wherever they hold camp, Salakia, to Birmingham, and to be with my, you know what I mean, with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? In defense of the gospel and our faith and our King Yahushua, man. It was a beautiful thing. Now, I'm going to read John 15, chapter 15, verse 12, and I'm going to play this video. Let me play this video first, you know what I'm saying, and then we're going to, I'm going to read the scripture, and then we're going to close out. If y'all got any questions, you can put them in the chat, all right? Here we go. Y'all check this out, man. It was beautiful, man. You understand? Let me see here. You know what I'm saying? Captain Mashak, blazing. Captain Karate, all those mighty men in the UK. You understand? Y'all check this out.
You Muslims are racist, especially you Arab women. You are racist. Read. Give me 9 and 27. You are absolutely racist. We are not doing anything to Palestinian people. We are not bombing the Gaza Strip. But you won't go protest the white man. You know why you won't go protest him? You know why? Because you're scared of the white man. You're scared of the white man. You're scared of the white man. When you see black people and you think you can violate black people, you're scared. Read. Proverbs chapter 9 verse 17. A foolish woman is clever. Say it again. A foolish woman is clever. What is a foolish woman? She is what? She is simple.
Back up.
A foolish woman is clever. Say it again. A foolish woman is clever. What is a foolish woman? She's clever. She is what? Clever. She is simple.
Back up.
Come on back. Read. A foolish woman is clever. She is simple. I know it's nothing. Read again. A foolish woman is clever.
Yeah, you understand? Like, let me tell y'all something, man. It's so much in what happened in the UK. You understand? It's gonna take men that are wiser than me to really delve into it. You know what I'm saying? And Commander General Yohana probably already went, you know what I mean, from Black Watch, already broke it down to a science. But I just want to say this, man, is that the love of Christ, the spirit of Christ, which the world is trying to consume. In Revelations 12, it talks about the dragon, right? That John has the vision of the woman with the stars over her head, right? And she's about to give birth. And that's our nation, giving birth to the spirit of Christ. And it said that the dragon was waiting to consume the child that was going to be born, that was going to rule the world with the rod of iron, man. Christ is coming back for the love of his brothers and the love of his people, man. He's coming back to judge and make war for brotherhood. You understand? And what you saw out there with Captain Mashak and Captain Karathia, you understand? And that zeal was the love of our brothers, the love of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that shut the rage of those heathens down. It didn't matter how many of them was out there. You ain't see nobody flinch. Even my, it's like if I'm saying the brother's name wrong, Officer Rabban, the brother out there who teaches the La Shawan Quadash and be making the fly garments. You understand? That brother was out on the front lines, man. Every brother was willing to give up his life for the brother standing next to him, man. That's the love of Christ. So in these last days, at the time of the return of Yahushua and the end of our oppressor's kingdom in his world and the rise of our kingdom, what should be on our minds? Yeah, we see the signs, man. But that, what you saw out there in the UK, that's what you should be thinking about. That's what you should put in your chest. That's what should be inside of your chest, man, in your mind, is loving your brother and giving up your life for your brother. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end with this scripture, John 15, verses 12 through 13. This is Yahushua speaking, okay? This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. How did Christ love us, man? He gave up his life for us, man. You understand? Verse 13, greater love hath no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends, man. You understand? Christ laid down his life for us. He's coming back to lay down all of these heathens, man. Destruction to all these other nations. You understand? For us. For blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. For our people. You understand? I'm not even going to get into the madness of those Palestinians coming against us, man. But what was beautiful and what needs to be remembered and honored, you understand, and memorialized, is that few stood against many, and they stood on brotherhood, man. They stood in the spirit of Christ, man. 10 toes down amongst the 10 toes. You understand? And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the class. Give a courtesy salute. Salakia. Give a courtesy salute to the Akim. All right. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahal Ba'ashim Yahshua Brakatah, Yazamatah, Sar, face the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Atam Ba'ashim Yahushua, Yazamatah, class dismissed. Hey, Shalom, Israel.